Hello, everyone, and welcome into Nokia. Today, I'm your host, Tyler Kern. Thanks so much for joining us for this episode of the program. Today, we are discussing sustainability, and in particular, the challenges faced by tech companies in becoming more sustainable. And so joining me today here on the program to discuss these things and so much more is Manny Mancini. She is the president of Greener Acres Canada. Manny, thank you so much for joining us here on Nokia today.
I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And leading our discussion today and moderating things, as always, is Marianne Strobel. She's the VP of North American Marketing at Nokia. Marianne, thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks, Tyler.
Well, let me turn things over to you, Marianne. You're driving this train today, and so take it away. And I'm excited to learn more about sustainability and to hear Manny's perspective.
Well, Minnie, thank you so much for being with us here today. And sustainability is a word we're hearing quite a bit these days. And yet people have a different interpretation of what it means. So can you tell us what sustainability means to you? And what are your goals around addressing sustainability?
Sustainability essentially is an examination of our existing practices, our daily norms, our behaviors, and how that may affect future generations. So it's a very broad definition, but it also provides room for us to be creative in terms of how we make sustainability personal. So as an individual, what that means to me is I'm very mindful of my personal habits and practices. Things like turning the tap off, turning the water off, air drying my hair as opposed to using excessive amounts of electricity, little micro cumulative activities that reduce my footprint. That's what sustainability means to me individually. As a business leader, it means that I really work to infuse an ethos of sustainability within any initiative or project that I work in, so that collectively as a team, we're able to come to think of ways that we can really be mindful of our own practices. And that's really what my goal is, to encourage others to make sustainability personal. That it doesn't have to be something so daunting and so broad. It could be something so simple and so specific as just, bringing your own recyclable container or not using single source plastics, something that minimal. But the cumulative effect of these little actions really create a wave of difference. Just like it takes one drop to fill a bucket, the same thing, one drop of effort really makes a big difference. So my personal goal is to really work towards creating awareness and to really create education around sustainability and really have it start at a very young age and infuse it in everything that we do, so that the UN Sustainable Development Goals become something that we all habituate. So if I ask you, what's your number, Marianne? You can tell me what of the 17 goals is your personal number that either you're working personally towards or your organization is shaping their objectives in working towards achieving. It's the only way we're really going to move that needle of sustainability forward globally.
So I see the passion, I hear the passion. Did you just wake up one day and say, wow, I want to be the advocate of sustainability? How did you start your career?
That's a very good question. And actually, my career initially, I was focused on regulatory compliance and fostering innovation through funding and access to resources and know-how. And I was fortunate enough to really believe that I wanted to do something really big in the world. And I had the know-how, the connection, the network to really take a technology that could really change the world. So my first step into formal sustainability came in really working at developing and launching a technology for the treatment of organic waste and wastewater, which really is the foundation of the work that we're doing as well in Greener Acres Canada. So that's more of my professional side. But on a personal level, I grew up in a world where in my household, my parents never let us throw out anything organic, and anything that could be recycled was reused without question before it was trendy to do so. So I have deep roots in really being mindful of what my impact is. So but now it's the platform that really fuels my passion and desire to really leave a positive legacy and a positive impact.
So you started a company called Greener Acres in Canada. Can you tell us specifically what Greener Acres does and who do you work with?
Good question. So Greener Acres started from really an initiative for us looking at how we can help this industry of waste products through their water, using waste to minimize water. And then we realized that there's a lot of opportunity for us to take different waste streams and work on developing, producing, and implementing technologies that take waste and create useful products for society. And that really is the mission of Greener Acres. It's for us to work with communities, to work with municipalities, to work with different partners within the industry where we collaborate and find ways to be better. There's already a lot of initiatives that are being done, but more needs to be done. And so what we're doing is really creating the awareness that recycling is something that can be incorporated into your business practices. So through our diverse portfolio of technologies, we support the circular economy. Through Greener Acres, we support the recycled products, inorganic products to reuse. Again, supporting the circular economy. Through TradeWorks Environmental Inc., which was the foundation that we started, we foster innovations that really deal with organic waste and wastewater. The cumulative technologies we have means that we are doing projects like, cleaning lagoons in Hawaii through to municipal applications in Halifax. So, and it forms the foundation because to recycle, to minimize your footprint, you need to reuse the water. And so we're thrilled that the businesses and the technologies that we have really sit on top of advancing the Sustainable Development Goals. And so we're happy to say that through our initiatives, we're directly targeting 9 of those goals.
Are you working with the Canadian government around the sustainability initiatives of what your company can do and how to make Canada greener?
Actually, yes, we are. Through our more mature technology company, TradeWorks Environmental, we are actually a key account for Global Affairs Canada. And we are participating in a number of trade missions, clean tech accelerators around the world. And we are actually happy to say that we're representing Canada in Singapore, in Thailand, in South Korea, in different municipal and industrial applications. So we have really been working at providing, recognition for, Canadian companies and clean tech companies that really can affect the global scene in this space.
Well, as I mentioned in our discussion just starting, is that there's a lot of companies that are embracing sustainability. And I think what you are doing is key to the success of many of these initiatives that companies have created. Can you share with our viewers how Nokia and Greener Acres formed a partnership and what we're doing together up in Canada specifically?
That's a very good question, and I really hope to inspire everyone with the initiatives that we are working on, because it really speaks to the importance of companies coming together and working together with what their core focus and competency is, but showing how partnerships can really advance, again, the global sustainability needle. So Nokia is focused obviously in connecting cities, connecting the world. The reality is that many cities around the world are not connected. There's a need for smart infrastructure. Here in Canada, we realize this impact at a greater level, especially highlighted with the pandemic, where the importance of having the internet, the importance of staying connected, to be informed, to be educated, to work was critical. And the reality is that there's many communities that lack the right infrastructure. Another reality is that as consumers, we're increasing our consumption of electronics so that our overall e-waste or electronic consumption has grown over 38% worldwide, with only a small percentage being either diverted from landfill or refurbished. In Canada, we have significant targets that were really driven forward as a result of legislation that was passed. The legislation creates opportunities. And so Nokia and Greener Acres came together to really address the need where now groups that normally were not obligated to really deal with their e-waste and really demonstrate diversion from landfill now need to. And there's punitive consequences for not doing so. So we embarked on this initiative where, working with Nokia, we're building smart green poles that really are equipped with sensors, whether it's for wastewater or different sensors that really create a connected community used from waste, ideally coming from that community. That's really the circular model that Nokia and Greener Acres is looking to address as a demonstration and example of what can be done. And we've taken it one step further. We're meeting with municipalities to really work at coming up with solutions for the communities. The communities that create the waste can actually now use that waste into something useful that goes back into the community. And that really is the foundation of sustainability.
Well, and I am just tickled to hear, it's smart waste equals smart technology, and together connects communities all in one. And it's just this ecosystem that just keeps people connected. And who would have thought? So, I think it's awesome. And again, there's a lot of opportunities with companies today around sustainability, whether it's in their supply chains, whether it's in their own technology offerings, to where it all comes together to meet the goals of their end users. So very, very cool application. I thank you for that.
And we hope to inspire others, and that's really the key. We're showing the collaboration of different technologies coming together as a means not only to do good for society, but also as an example of what other companies can do as well. So imagine the innovation that can come from that. When we have our core competencies, but collectively we're doing things using the filter of sustainability to do good for society. That's what's really exciting and inspiring.
So it just blows me away, taking waste and technology and into solving with infrastructure, solving to creating the gap or moving the gap and closing the digital divide. It's just wild for me. So what advice would you give to other companies that are looking at sustainability as an initiative? And what advice could you give them?
The advice that I would start off is that organic is in. And what I mean by organic is in, it means that organizations, whether they're tech companies or companies like ours that are really focused on sustainability, it starts by first looking at individual micro actions that can really make an impact. So what we do and what I always advocate is get familiar with the 17 goals, these UN Sustainable Development Goals. And when we put that as a target, we can create little micro activities that really make a world of difference. And that's the difference between going on a diet versus creating a lifestyle change. So if we make sustainability a conversation in our organization and we involve our employees and our partners in the conversation, there's so much innovation that can come from that. Similarly to the innovation and collaboration we're experiencing in the industry, where we're bringing in existing partners to see how we can all be a little bit better, because small changes make a difference. So pick one goal that makes the difference in your organization and use that as an initiative to start. So for example, one of the things that we do, which is doable for anyone, is when we do our team debriefs, we do walking debriefs. As an example, we do plant-based lunches Now, obviously, we're all working in different locations and we don't have, we've pivoted similar to everyone being in the same space, but we share our experience and our recipes and create connectivity amongst ourselves in small little practices and themed weeks and months to be able to drive towards moving that needle of sustainability. And when we're all moving in the same direction, then we can see tangible difference. And the only reason that I use the Sustainable Development Goals as a touch point is because they can be as simple and basic as just bringing your own reusable container when you're buying coffee or drinking water, to something more in depth that you build your business model around those goals. So it allows, to have many touch points of connection to being sustainable.
Now, interesting enough, you are a woman-owned business, correct?
Correct.
So tell us some of the things that you have done to amplify your brand and your company's brand and getting connected with companies such as Nokia.
So the reality is that just like one small act of sustainability can make a big difference, one small connection and thoughtfulness towards empowering women and working and driving each other forward really makes the difference. So of course, being a WEBE certified company through our TradeWorks environmental business, we are passionate about supporting women. And we have incredible mentors that are engineers, PhDs that are women that we support and really work towards reaching into our supply chain and seeing how do we help, how do we bring in equity and inclusion to this sustainability world that we're in. So it's really helped us to find key people that are willing to support our goals and dreams so that we can empower each other to really achieve our dreams. Because at the end of the day, we all want to make a difference. We all want to do something great. And so by supporting and being thoughtful about supporting each other, we are able to move women as well in leadership forward. And that's really what our goal is to achieve.
Excellent. And you've done so much as a woman leader. Your business is thriving, and especially addressing sustainability in using technology. How can someone or other business owners learn about your business? Where can we find you?
You can find us at www.greeneracrescanada.com and at www.tradeworksinc.com. And we are excited to work with people that just really want ideas in how they can bring sustainability into their world, regardless of what sector they're in. We breathe the same air, we drink the same water. What seemingly divides us is what connects us. So the more that we are able to share what we're doing and just provide suggestions, the happier we are, because it moves more people forward. And that's really the end goal. As well, we participate in many different international events. And so find me on LinkedIn. I'm happy to share the entrepreneurial journey and the journey of a female entrepreneur. And I'm privileged to mentor a lot of young professionals. And it's very humbling because really passing on that torch of sustainability is something that should be in all our conversations. So I've built that in my personal life, in educating my daughters. And I'm excited that I have a little grandson who believes that he is truly an earth champion and water hero. And that's really where the foundation is education. And so I'm also passionate about helping other companies achieve their sustainable development goals by looking at and sharing some of the insights that we have learned along our journey.
Well, I love the name Greener Acres. We're going to have a greener world, and this is such top of mind with many companies, with many governments, and I want to thank you for your partnership, but most importantly, to continue our relationship in addressing the sustainability issues that we faced in today's time. So Minnie, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for listening to Nokia Today.